Ladies and gentlemen, on this episode of Beyond the Desk, we're going to be exploring wonders of the world, incredible cenotes, and more. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm walking to the bus terminal. It's like 6:10 in the morning, and we are headed to Tulum. Gosh, it's crazy how, obviously, it's early, there's nobody awake. But the difference this town in the evenings, during party hours, and during the day and mornings, it's staggering. Yesterday, these whole streets were full. You could hardly walk without bumping into somebody. Guess that's the nature of Mexico. That's why people come to these towns. But is there something more? Well, I'm about to find out. Alright, so this walled city was one of the last cities to stand after the Spanish arrived. One of the last cities of the Mayan Empire. And they called it Zama, which means City of Dawn, because it faces the sunrise and it overlooks these cliffs into the water. Very nice. The reason why this city was prominent is because it was a major trading hub for things like cotton, feathers, honey, obsidian, and it was a real economic area of prominence for the Mayans. So just imagine if you were a businessman back in the day in the Mayan culture, you'd probably be here, and then you'd be navigating the waters with your little boat, trading them all along the Mayan Empire. It's pretty cool. So that was the priest's house, and they built it on top of the cenotes so they can get fresh water, because I guess in this region, being so close to the water, there's not a lot of fresh water nearby, so they always build their towns around the cenotes so they can have this source of fresh water. I'm definitely not eavesdropping on tour groups to get information to tell you guys about this place. Who would do such a thing? So that was the temple of the wind god Kukulkan. And Kukulkan is a very prominent god. So the people in the Mayan time, they'd go up and then they'd leave gifts at the altar for this god. You can still see the color on that wall a little bit. So I guess this whole city used to be painted and it just got faded away through the years. Just like everything else. Look on my works, ye mighty, in despair. I wish we could go up and get a little closer, but, you know, I'm not trying to get kicked out of here. But it's really interesting to see. Oh my gosh, can you imagine living here? I wonder what it looked like back in its day. Alright, after a short bike ride, well, it was like 15 minutes, I guess so. It was short. I had to go on some pretty major thoroughfares though with no bike lanes, which was, you know, hopefully my mom doesn't watch this video. But we made it to the Cenote Calavera, so let's check it out. Now, not only were the cenotes a source of fresh water in the Mayan community, but they were also seen as a passageway to the land of the dead. And to this day, you can see the remains of the sacrificed scattered among the bottom of these pools of water. Chichen Itza. It's really cool learning about how advanced these people were. Their calendars are actually more advanced than ours, which is incredible to think about. Our leap year's every 4 years, theirs is 52. So this is where the games were. They'd play games where you see these hoops. They would try to hit this little ball into the hoops. 7 players a team. The winning captain would behead the losing captain. Talk about sports. If you think they're intense now, imagine back then. Jeez. I wouldn't want to be the San Francisco 49ers if I was living back then. This is where the visitors of the emperor sat. All the way at the other end. It's where the Mayan emperor was. This platform right here, it's where the performers would stand. The musicians and such. And in this big field right here, they throw parties. So just imagine this whole area back in the day of the Mayans is just filled with people. They're having a party, they're drinking their equivalent of ayahuasca. And it was, man, it's just incredible being here, and especially learning about how advanced they were makes it even more so. But, you know, you drink too much, you get too high, you might do something stupid and end up here. That's the sacrificial altar. Yeah, so if you feel so motivated, or if you're selected, let's say you're an enemy, you lose, you would get sacrificed there. They'd break your back, they'd pull out your heart, and then they'd cut your head off. A pretty brutal way to go. But they say they break your back first, because after that, it, I guess, disconnects your pain sensors. I don't know if it's true, but, you know, that's what they say. I can imagine getting my heart ripped out would still hurt after breaking my back. Now, one of the most amazing parts about this temple is that when you clap 3 times, you can hear the cries of a Quetzal bird echo from the pyramid. Isn't it incredible how the Mayans were able to recreate the cries of this bird with just clapping on the structure of the pyramid? Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Beyond the Desk. I'm about to check out of my Airbnb and head back to Texas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We do trips all the time. I'm going to Japan next month, Europe after that. So I've got some great stuff in the pipeline. Be sure to stay tuned. And my name is Charles Cole from Mexico. Signing off for now.